What's up? Here we go. We got a free Patreon Friday. We are in business. Something funny just happened, and I can't wait to share it with you. It's something that Pellerito posted at the Zaniacs United page, and it's making me laugh. Check. Test. Good to go? All right.
And now, here's a guy that proves there is no vaccine against stupidity. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
What's up? Thank you, Johnny. That's right. Hey, here we are. It's a free Patreon Friday. Sometimes I open it up for everybody. You know, you got the die-hard paying folks. The first initial proof that you would support me in my endeavor to be free of the dependency on foreign oil. That would be radio. I love radio, but this is spectacular. I think the only drawback about this is in a workplace, you have people that you interact with regularly, even just a passing hello in the hall for this huge swath of time every day. I do interact with you, but your physical faces are in here. I need human in the room interaction. Well, I shouldn't say I need it, but you grow accustomed to it. Here I am, nearly 50 years old, and for the past 1 year and almost 1 month, I've worked exclusively in this setting with a little bit of time at a radio station here and there. And when I get out, what I'm saying is I don't get out much. When I do get out, it's the most joyful thing. I mean, like going and interacting with the staff at the veterinary clinic where I'm there 9 days a week. That's like a big deal. To going to Meijer, going to Aldi and interacting with them. I'm like, oh my gosh, human beings. This is so nice. Because, the way life is now, Diana, a lot of the time, she'll come home from work and she's here for like an hour, and then she goes off to job number 2. So, working at the YMCA. But I got Bruce here, and he has not crapped. That's why I got this here and these bags in case he had, because his digestive system is eating some particularly bland food after the outbreak yesterday of vomit and blood and awfulness. He is okay, though. As you can see, he's resting peacefully. You got O'Neill. You can't see him in here. Benny's snoozing away in the other room. Daisy's downstairs. And off I go back to the veterinary clinic. As soon as this podcast is done, I pack up. That's why I'm here a little early today. Normally, I wait a little longer in the day before I get after the Patreon bonus. But I got to go pick up the cat now. Another one with one eye. If you don't know, the cat had to have his eye removed. Buddy Bobcat face. He's going to be so pissed. The wildlife in and around the neighborhood is going to be rejoicing because the playing field is somewhat leveled now because this senior cat murdering, he's like the Tom Brady of cats, really. He's just gotten better with age in his ability to destroy the rodents and the other creatures that are in and around here. There is a shortage of squirrels and mice and rats and bunnies. In the springtime, that son of a bitch seeks out the bunny dens, and he'll go, and while the mama bunny is like saying, "Oh no," and doing her best to try to fend Buddy off, he's a brutal, disgusting murderer, and he'll grab one of those little fuckers out of there and he'll eat it and then bring me what's left. So it's not uncommon to walk into the garage and see like a paw or an ear. And I'm like, because a lot of the times he walks up at the door with it in his mouth and he's like, "Yeah, look what I just did." I'm like, "You fucker." And then he goes, and then for like a period of a week, he'll go pick one of them off. Here, one there, one there. It's just the worst. So this is probably good that son of a bitch is minus an eye for the sake of the cute bunnies that he's been murdering every single spring that we have lived here. I've been in this house 10 years. He came with the house. I have no idea the age of this cat. He could be 20, as far as I know. There was some dude that lived behind me, and that dude flew the coop some time ago, and he left 2 cats. What a dick, by the way, to just leave the fucking cats. Who the hell does that? Well, of course, they came to see me. There was Fencer and Buddy. They were both orange tabbies. Fencer came in. He wanted to be an indoor cat. He lived for a little while, but then he got sick and died. And Buddy's just been a mainstay in the neighborhood. He travels. I feel like going around to the cul-de-sac and the neighboring streets and pass the hat and say, hey, you know what? Would you mind giving me a few bucks for Buddy's eye surgery? My one neighbor, Etta, she actually gave me $150, knowing that Buddy was getting operated on. So that was very, very sweet. Thank you. All right. Thanks again for being part of the podcast. Let's see. Looks like the usual faces are in here. Thank you so much. And it is a free Patreon Friday. If you happen to be new to it, this is how we do it without commercial interruption, because you make it so that I don't need commercials on this. No sponsors needed on the free Patreon Friday. So I want to talk about a number of things. I've got some audio I want to play for you. But first and foremost, I want to get into the story about, I think it's Greta Newkirk. Is it Greta? That would be ridiculous if her name was Greta too, considering that there's another famous Greta in the world today. No, I'm sorry, it's Ingrid, which is it sounds like from the same neck of the woods. Ingrid Newkirk. By the way, did you see the wax sculpture of Greta Thunberg? Now, I am always amazed at these wax figures. They always look really, really good. There's a few that have looked weird over the years. The Nicki Minaj one looks stupid, looks very strange. But the Greta Thunberg one, it's like the kid. I mean, it looks so much like the kid that I had the same urge to punch it in its stupid face, the same way urge I have when I see that pain in the ass shill standing there with her henny penny sky is falling horse shit. They should put make a wax sculpture of Trump giving her the finger, or mooning her or something like that, in perfect wax sculpture design. This one is in Germany, which the Germans, I guess, are all woke. All of Europe's woke. Nobody's flying by plane. They walk everywhere now. These idiots. All right. Anyway, Ingrid Newkirk runs PETA, that terror organization. And the latest thing is that, first of all, they'll do anything to be talked about. And so congratulations. People are talking about you because of this stupid, ridiculous idea. Whatever it takes, I guess. Let the ends justify the means. I'm talking about PETA. The president of PETA, Ingrid Newkirk, reached out to an organization known as the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club. These are the jokers who sit around once a year, get shit-faced. Bunch of tourists. The Today Show's always there. You pull the dumb groundhog out of the thing, and they say whether or not he saw a shadow or not. There's no science to it. There's no method to the madness. He just says something. He just, whatever he feels like, he says. Everybody's drunk, and people are barfing. They're so hammered. It's an excuse to get drunk. There is nothing to this. It is a tourist thing. Once a year they do that, and they plan for the big party, and off you go. By the way, is a groundhog the same as a woodchuck? I'm not sure. I just saw a video the other day of this guy whose garden was getting eaten, and he couldn't figure out what was eating it. So he put like a Ring camera in the yard, and then he gets a notification on his phone when he's at work, and he looks at it, and this groundhog is right in the camera, eating like a tomato, and it's the cutest damn thing I've ever seen. I should find that and post it for you. Let me write it down so I know. Groundhog video. Groundhog. Okay. All right. Anyway, So, fat ass groundhog, dude holds it over his head. Oh, 6 more weeks of winter. Spring's right around the corner. Whatever. This was the suggestion made by Ingrid Newkirk. And she's serious here. As a prey species, groundhogs actively avoid humans. Being in close proximity to the public caused these animals great stress. Newkirk wrote, when Phil is dragged out of his hole and held up to flashing lights and crowds, he has no idea what's happening. Being relegated to a library, she writes in quotes, habitat, that's her way of saying it's a torture chamber, for the other days of the year doesn't allow him or the other groundhog there to dig, burrow, or forage. Newkirk suggested something else to replace Phil. Kenny, do you want to go ahead and tell everybody the ending of the story by chance? Let me see. Has he already done it? No, I see Kenny's having a discussion about Androids and iPhones, so he isn't really paying attention. All right. Thank you, Kenny. Easy. Since you're not paying attention, you won't be able to ruin the end of this story. Now he writes, I don't know this story. Yeah, I bet it dies. All right. Let me go back to this. The suggestion that Ingrid Newkirk is making to replace Phil. I suggest you use technology. Using technology, advanced electromechanical devices such as animatronics, like the Chuck E. Cheese guys, instead of live animals, is more popular than ever. It is? Are people walking around with animatronic pets these days? Newkirk said, we have the technology to create an animatronic groundhog with artificial intelligence that could actually predict the weather. An AI Phil would renew interest in Punxsutawney, generating a great deal of buzz. What? This lady, she wants you to not be able to even have a cat or a dog. She wants feral beasts to roam the streets, zebras running wild, everything, so that we just look at animals, but we cannot own animals. We can't do anything. Take a look over my shoulder. This is Bruce. Does it look like, do you think this dog would really enjoy wandering around outside? With this dog here, who gets the best of care, he gets better care than I do. Okay. If I feel sick, I don't rush to the hospital. If Bruce feels sick, I rush him to the hospital. He has better medical care than anybody in the house. And look at him. He hasn't moved for 2 hours. I'm over here busting my ass so that this little fucker can lay here and just do nothing. And this fucking hag says he's got a bad life. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm trying to help you, motherfucker. Phil Deely, of course his name is Phil, is the president of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club. He told the Punxsutawney, it says Spurt, but I can't believe that this media outlet is called the Punxsutawney Spurt. That sounds like something entirely different that Andrea would be interested in. It's spelled S-P-I-R-T. Maybe it's spirit, but here it says Punxsutawney Spurt. That's what Phil does if they hold him too tightly. He spurts. Phil lives better than the average child in Western Pennsylvania. If we were going to use an animatronic groundhog, that's not what people want to see. It's actually spirit. It was a typo in the article. They want to see Phil himself. People across the country, and in some cases, those traveling from other countries, come to see the real Phil on Groundhog Day. I suggested in the freebie podcast that that dude there who holds him over his head should spike the groundhog as hard as he can, but you can't see the soft mattress that the damn thing lands on, and then send the video to Newkirk and see what she does. Probably not a good idea. I don't even want anybody to think that the groundhog was injured. Okay, let's get to NFL mean tweets. This is something that Jimmy Kimmel has done forever. Mean tweets, and I normally don't like to, even though this is the second Kimmel bit I've played today. The first one was the interview with the stoner dude. I normally don't like to play stuff verbatim. It feels a little dirty to me, but God, it really caught me at a weak moment, and I laughed hard, especially at the Tom Brady mean tweets. So these athletes are reading the mean tweets about them, and they record it. And here you go, NFL mean tweets. Aired just the other night.
I'm Tom Brady, and I'm a crybaby, and I have a butthole in my chin.
I imagine Patrick Mahomes' barber is a superhero who has to run out and save the world every time he gets halfway through Mahomes' haircut.
That one's stupid.
This dude, Travis Kelce, looks like the Notre Dame leprechaun.
Weak.
Corey Clement, hold my. Nah, you hold mine.
Joey Bosa's nose is so big it looks like he's been lying every day for his whole life. It's a good one.
Pray for Devin Funches. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He just sucks.
Sony Michelle, more like Panasonic Michelle so far.
Pretty weak.
Todd Gurley is a snowflake loser bitch. Oh, Lord.
You, Tom Brady, you fat bitch. I hope you cry. I do cry too.
Why Brady? Hearing him read that, to me, it makes me laugh. Tom Brady swearing is my new favorite thing.
Is Jay Ajayi running look like Forrest Gump running when he had the braces on his legs? That's up.
Clay Matthews is the type of dude who farts into a bottle of Sunny D, puts it in the fridge, and then consumes it the next morning. Jared Goff throws a football like he's got a in his pants.
Michael Irvin looks like every old-timey tablecloth in America got together and had an orgy to make that outfit.
Bradshaw, you ass-kissing wuss. Your brain fell out with your hair, chicken. Why don't you bite my angry rebel?
You, Tom Brady. I hope your dog eats chocolate and gets really sick and throws up on your sock. That's up.
Well, you know what? When you're attacking the Pats, you've gone too far.
Yeah, I'll link that up for you. It was funny when I watched it. It's not that funny right now. All right. Serves me right for ripping something off. Let's see, where the fuck are we? 40 ounce. That's new. I like to see the new people. It makes me happy when I see new names on here. Somebody known as 40 ounce. Hello to you. Welcome. What else do we got here? Kenny, he says that's the only good thing Kimmel does, but the stoner guy was great. And Kenny was really upset, apparently, because I was speculating. Well, no, I wasn't speculating. I was telling you what's going to happen, and that is Tom Brady is going to sign with the Tennessee Titans. Yeah. How about that? He doesn't want that. I don't know why he wouldn't like Tom Brady. I would love to see Tom Brady on the Titans, and I would love to see him be successful, because if Tom Brady, can take a team that and make them a Super Bowl champion, that would solidify his legacy. I think he's just terrific. I don't much care for him posting that picture today. Kenny says, no, he's not. Meanwhile, Sarah is here. Thank you, Sarah, for being here. All right, off we go. Sarah did not get afflicted with diarrhea. Diarrhea, I should say. Why can't I say that word? After the funeral meal yesterday, which I thought the kielbasa was great. I don't know what her problem is. All right. This is kind of weird. I think I remember discussing this story. It is centering around a family that wanted to take, I thought it was American Airlines, but I think, it was an American Airlines flight. Orthodox Jews this family of Orthodox Jews jumps on the plane. They're getting ready to travel. They're from Michigan. This husband and wife, and they got kicked off the plane, and because they smell bad, and it was so offensive that they got thrown off the plane. Their religious perspective, part of their faith, is they can only bathe once a week. And I have questions. I have lots of questions. And I know that this show has some folks that are Jewish. I know there's Sam the Jew, and I don't know if Sam the Jew is even here right now. And but I don't think, but Sam I know is not Orthodox Jews, is not an Orthodox Jew. I used to live in a community of Jackson, New Jersey, which is right next to Lakewood, New Jersey, which is in for the most part an Orthodox Jew community. There's a term Hasidic, and I don't know if they're the same, but this is in fact, one of the biggest populations of Hasidic Jews in the world in Lakewood. So, you see this all the time. Now, where I am in West Michigan, you would probably very, very rarely see an Orthodox Jew. That really doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just the story is now that hang on, everything just went apeshit. Everything just went crazy, and I have to reload every son of a bitchin' page. Yehunda Yosef Adler and Jenny Adler and their then 19-month-old daughter were kicked off the plane January 23rd, 2019, because they smelled like big, wet, hairy balls, body odor, disgusting, gross. No way. The flight from Miami to Detroit, they were kicked off by a gate agent who said he knew people of their race and religion. Orthodox Jews only bathe once a week, according to the lawsuit filed just the other day in federal court in Texas. The Texas-based airline issued a statement Thursday reiterating their claim that several passengers and crew members complained of the body odor. You ever been around somebody that had really, really bad body odor? It's bad. It smells like chemical, like a bad poison. There's been a couple of times when there was one old dude in particular at the gym who used to not bathe, and it was some of the worst things ever. You could smell him from if he walked by and then went to a different part of the gym, the smell would have hang time. It would linger for moments after. So he basically was the walking epicenter. So, I mean, you just can't have that, right? I see no problem with them kicking his ass off because he smelled. And I think that what's admissible as evidence here in defending this lawsuit is they need to call a witness, and that would be the dude who stunk. And he has to engage in the same bathing practices during a normal week as he did in that week when he was kicked off the plane. And he needs to walk into the courtroom, and he needs to stand in front of the judge. And if when the judge gets one whiff of his smelly ass, that's when he says, lawsuit dismissed. You smell like fuck. I'm sorry. And I'm not telling you that you have to take a bath, but your lawsuit against this airlines is not going to stand because you smell like shit. Has nothing to do with your religion, has nothing to do with being a bigot or anything like that. You smell like shit. How can you possibly exist in a world where you have to do that? And where does it say it in there, in whatever there is that the Torah? I don't know. I don't know a damn thing about this. Maybe Saul can wait. No, never mind. Careful what you wish for. Saul, don't weigh in. We can get some answers behind this. The article says that the humiliation by the airline started as soon as Yehuda or Yossi Adler stepped on the plane, according to the lawsuit. Adler asked the stewardess for headphones when he boarded the plane, explaining the last plane he was on said he could ask, according to the lawsuit. The pilot nearby responded in a nasty fashion, according to the lawsuit, and said, I wasn't on that plane and we don't offer anything complimentary. All right, so he's a little crabby. Minutes after sitting down, a gate agent informed the Adlers there was an emergency and asked them to deplane. So they're going to give them the old switcheroo. Hey, there's an emergency. You got to get off the plane. So they're tricking him. This is funny. After they were told it was due to body odor and at the instruction of the pilot, they said, wait, I thought you said this was an emergency. Yeah, you're the emergency. You're causing distress amongst everyone on this plane. The agent would not clarify which family member had the odor. According to the filing, the Thursday statement from the airline said passengers and crew members were complaining about Mr. Adler. The couple had showered that morning, according to the lawsuit. Well, maybe it's your clothes. Something associated with you is smelling, okay? You figure it out, fucker. Plaintiffs were distraught, and even though embarrassing, approached persons in the same area of the boarding gate and asked them if they could detect unpleasant body odor from any of the Adler family, and each and every person, more than 20 people, answered in the negative. Well, I'd say no too. No, I don't know, dude. I don't want to smell you. You what? So they're basically walking up to people saying, "Can you smell my asshole?" Ugh. Despite promises to unload their luggage, the Adlers said the plane took off with the baby's car seat, their stroller, diapers, and other belongings. Oh, sorry about that. All right, well, they're giving back to you. Yehuda Adler wore a yarmulke, and Jenny Adler's wore a châtel and long skirt the day of the incident and made them unequal in the eyes of the airline, they allege. Yada, yada, yada. Wash your ass. The couple says they've been defamed by American Airlines. They continue to suffer emotional distress, damage to personal and professional reputations, loss of appetite. Yeah, loss of appetite. They lost their appetite when you smelled like a filthy butthole. Insomnia and fear associated with airports and flying. Oh, come on. What an embarrassing, ridiculous, frivolous lawsuit. Man. Nope. That's not going to work. Sorry. You stink. No business is going to just go and discriminate because they're Jews and expect to get away with it in this day and age. You really got to, seriously, these people had to have smelled terrible because no one's just going to go and rip them off and take them off of the plane just because they're Jewish. It's just not going to happen in this day and age. It could never happen. It's not going to happen. They smelled bad. That's why they were kicked off the plane. All right. Where are we here? Oh, boy. Melissa says they've become nose blind. My God. Aaron says boot camp was terrible. Stinky people and everybody had pink eye. It's the worst. Nothing worse than a bad smelling human. Body odor. One of the worst things that's ever happened. Hey, another story. Did you guys see that one about that drug tunnel that the cartel made in California, going from Tijuana about a mile underneath the border for drug smuggling? It absolutely is an engineering marvel. Whenever I see the lengths that the drug lords will go to get shit into the U.S., like drug submarines, you've seen those. How about the mules that will come up with creative ways to actually haul the shit in to the United States, get through airports? Well, the tunnels are fantastic too. This one was about a 4,500 foot tunnel through bedrock, went 70 feet down, and then straight across the border and came up in a neighborhood. It had tracks so that a cart can be like rail track, like a little railroad, to haul the drugs in. It had forced ventilation and fresh air pumped in. It had electricity. It was stabilized. It was an engineering marvel. And who knows how long it took them to do this. I mean, it's rock. They had to blow it up and then dig it all out from Tijuana into the United States. So they somehow discovered it and published that, and it was on all the news shows that this thing was revealed. And my first thought was, why in the world would the drug enforcement teams make this known that they've found it? If you want to track the bad guys and they have a tunnel and the bad guys don't know that you've discovered it, Why would you tell the world that you've discovered it? If you just lay low and have somebody monitoring the entrance into the United States, where it pops up, you can probably get a line back to some big drug cartel overlord or whatever, and be able to stop the. And now they know that you know where it is, so they're never going to go in there ever again. I just thought that was stupid. There it is. Jeff saying, but what about the wall? Well, okay, enough. We're not going to do it. Aaron says that tunnel was built with serious engineering. We can't even fill potholes around here. That's true. And Jason says Whitmer has a plan for that. Are you familiar with what she's doing with this bond proposal? I need to read up on that. She says, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to fix the roads with a bond proposal. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I don't think it's good. I say just let the roads get worse. I want them any better. I want them to stay. And by the way, when they say thousands of people have died because of the roads, I don't know if that's true. That sounds like a trumped up thing to say. No offense, Trump. All right, man. I got to go get the one-eyed cat. Then I got to get over to Ticktown RV. Busy day. I got limo work tonight. Can you believe that? All right. Thanks again for being part of the podcast. Keeping this one free. We'll talk to you down the road. Thank you so much, folks. See ya. Don't forget Kenny, Tom Brady, Tennessee Titans. Kansas City's going to win. I'm going to have a boner during the halftime show. See ya. 7:30 Sunday, South of the Strait show. Bye-bye.